dare to challenge me, child? Do you know who I am? I am the Praetus of the Firestorm Legions, the great and powerful warrior leader. Bootius Maximus Aurelius, and I see your challenge. Let us see if you can keep up. Ha! 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 Not bad, child, but you have a lot to learn. Come and let us train you in the ways of the shoulder roll, that you might also dodge people with way too wide over-the-top swings to protect yourself on the battlefield. This is the part where, yes, good. Let us begin. I have heard of a future warrior known as Optimus Prime, who, in the battle of the movies, dodges laser beams and explosions and rockets with the power of the shoulder roll. If he can, so can you. But before you can begin your shoulder roll training, you must have a forward roll, a very ninja-like technique. See what I did there? Kind of punny. Let us begin. Ha! All right, warriors, it is time for your 60-second breakdown. So pay attention, lest you get your leg chopped off in the arena. It is time for our shoulder roll, the lowest of the shoulder rolls, from our knees or from a squat position. Let us put 60 glorious seconds on the clock, given to us during this beautiful sunlight by the god Apollo. From here, we shall get down into a kneeling position. We want our front foot forward at a near 90-degree position. From here, we shall make a triangle with our hands. We will take those hands and put them right over here in front of our left, where our left knee would be if both feet were here in a shoulder width wide position. Except I'm going to move those hands forward and turn them 45 degrees, pointing diagonally out to the side. From here, I shall take my chin, shove it deep into the recesses of my stinky armpit, pulling that head as far as I can to twist my body and point my right shoulder forward. From here, I shall push off of my feet, setting my forearm down on the ground. I shall set myself down on my shoulder and tuck 1, 2 my legs off the ground. Notice this hand. My opposite hand will come down and strike the ground first as the side of my booty hits the ground and pushes me up on the sides of my feet to a diagonal crouching position from which I can explode out of into some type of stabby thing should I have had a sword. Truly a battle momentous occasion. Now that you have practiced your forward roll from the ninja training last week, it is time to begin your training in the sands of the arena. Let us begin with your shoulder roll. So, one thing we never do is go down on our knees, but only for this particular trick we shall do so. Alright, this is to give us a solid starting position for our shoulder roll. Unlike our forward roll where we roll directly over the top of our head, this is going to be a trick, the shoulder roll, used to protect yourself in big jumps, falls, and of course dodging sword swipes. But this is one that can be done on a Roman invention, concrete. That actually wasn't a joke. The Romans invented concrete. Look it up, it's pretty cool. Alright, so when we do this, we will start nice and low. The main difference between this and our forward roll is we are not traveling directly over the top of our head. Were we to do this on concrete, we would bash our own personal little universe known as our skull. We do not want to hit the back of our skull, nor does it feel good when your body is rounded to roll over the nubs of your spine on concrete. So to protect these, we will do a sideways shoulder roll, where we will set one shoulder down and the path of the concrete will run diagonally down our back and come up off of our opposite hip. A hip and booty so powerful was named after this great warrior, Bootius Maximus Aurelius. This guy. So, let us begin. We shall start with one leg in front. Whichever leg is your leg in front is the same shoulder that will go down on the ground. When we do this, much like before in our forward roll where we had 2 hands, instead we will swap one for a foot, and where our other hand would have gone if there were 2 hands in our forward roll, we shall now use the power of the triangle. We we will place our hands close together and place them where the other hand would have been. Now we have a foot and 2 hands. Here, we will now move it just a little bit in front of our foot. Now from this position, you'll notice my back foot is up on my toes. None of this pointy crap. We are not gymnasts, we are warriors. Foot firm on the ground. From here, instead of going into my forward roll, my goal will be to turn towards my hands as far as I can. You'll now notice my shoulder is the one leading the direction. No longer is it my head, but instead now my shoulder. I've turned 90 degrees. From here, I am going to slowly bend my arms down to the ground. Before, in our forward roll, we kept all of our weight on our arms. Here, I can place a forearm on the ground. Be careful when you do this, as an elbow strike into the concrete does not feel very good. Unless you're into that kind of thing. We place our elbow down. We shall place our chin deep into the stinky recesses of our armpit. At this point, you will notice my head is not to the side, but tucked down to hide my head as much as possible from the ground. From here, I shall push off of this back foot, looking this direction. I've turned 90 degrees, and I will go into my forward roll. The main difference you'll notice here, though, is instead of rolling straight forward, as I am twisting, I'm going to come down on the sides of my body. My God, look at those legs. Welcome to Rome. The order that our body parts will hit the ground will be like this. First will be my opposite arm, in this case my left arm. Followed by that foot, I shall reach over and place my hand. You will notice my body now begins to sit up. And my last leg, my right leg, lands last. I will roll off of my Bootius Maximus Aurelius and push myself up into a sideways crouch position. If you have done your shoulder roll correctly, you will come up sideways at an angle. This is because you are now coming up off the side of your hip. Your legs will not land at the same time. What we don't want to see is this action. Again, I'm going to use my right leg in front, reaching to my left. I'm going to turn and place my head as low as I can to protect my skull. I shall set my forearm on the ground, roll over, and go here. What I don't want to see is these crisscross legs here. This gets you stuck and then stabbed by a trident in the arena. So we want our feet swapped like this. Again, if I try to go sideways and use just my feet, it is very difficult, as to the side, you cannot pull your heel all the way to the butt. This is why we place our hand. The hand gives us a push up. You can use your second hand, and now here I am ready to run out of it to my next arena battle. Do you understand? Good. Let us continue with the lesson after a quick commercial break from our sponsors.
Billy Mays here with another fantastic...
Get out of my face, scrub. That's better. Know your betters! I have lots of them, I should know. So, yes, get picked on a lot. That's why I try to be so strong and gruff, because I had a rough childhood, you know, and then I got put in the arena at a young age. And no, sorry, it's beside the point. No. All right. Now, when you're doing your shoulder roll, you may notice if you start this on foam or spring floor or the grass or even the sand, you will not notice when you mess up. Do you know why? Because it's soft and you won't hit the hard bones that will let you know, ouch, that hurts. So what we are going to do is we are going to come down to this concrete. And on the concrete, we shall practice our roll. Now, you should get very comfortable with your roll before you do the concrete. And before you even do your entire roll on the glory of the Roman concrete, the first thing you should do is have a seat on your dainty booty. Now, I primarily do my shoulder roll from my right shoulder to my left hip, so that is how I'm going to practice right now. But remember, with everything we train, we must be ambidextrous. If somebody cuts off your right arm in battle, you must be able to pick up your spear with your left. Do you understand? You say that, but I don't think you've ever had an arm cut off to know. But then again, neither have I, so it was kind of pointless now, wasn't it? Good talk. So, when we come in for our shoulder roll, What we're going to practice here is going from the shoulder to the hip. When we do it on the concrete, every time we get a little too forward, straight up and down, rolling over the nubs of our spine, we will feel the pinching on our bones, and it will not be pleasant. That unpleasantness is a way of letting you know that your body position is not correct. This is an important thing to do before you start jumping off of buildings into your shoulder roll. Because when you come down with that much force and power and you land incorrectly, it's going to hurt a lot worse. Do you understand? You always answer all of my questions correctly. It makes me not really trust you. But that is okay. So what I'm going to do is lay on my back. I'm going to, since this is my right shoulder, I'm going to take my left foot. I'm going to kick it up and over my right shoulder. You're going to get a nice shot of my booty. From here, all my weight is on my right shoulder, as you can see. My left shoulder is off the ground. From here, I am going to tuck my legs and roll across my back to my left hip and practice my hand down position and the side of my foot position. My foot will not be coming up flat like this. You'll notice it straightens my body. I want to be here on the side of my foot, and I use my hand to push myself up. We're going to come back down onto the hip nice and soft and roll back to the right shoulder, left hip. If you can do this and it does not hurt any of your bones, you are following the correct path. Our goal here is to go from the meat of the shoulder to the meat of the booty. If you come up right on too high on the hip bone or too low over the coccyx, you are going to feel those bones smash into the ground and shatter like a million defeated foes. Something you want to have happen to your enemies, but not to you. I had to think about that for a second. Do you understand? I asked that question a lot. I just want to make sure you're following. Yes? Good. Good. Practice this roll, and from here, you may now begin your shoulder roll technique. After you have mastered your shoulder roll from the knee, you are going to progress to the squatted shoulder roll. From here, my feet can be together or slightly staggered, but I will actually be starting on my feet. In fact, since I've been doing a right shoulder roll with my right shoulder, we're going to swap to the left. So keep your eyes on me. I shall go here. Again, I am reaching a little forward with the left hands, right here in front of my right knee. I will pull my chin into my armpit, tucking my head down, and from here I can go to my forearm, looking back, roll, and up on the side of my body. You will not feel your head touch the ground should you do this correctly. If you feel any part of your head touching the ground, try again. More chin pull, more tucking, and more twisting of the body so the shoulder is leading the way. Trust in your shoulder, my child, and I shall see you on the eve of battle. You come to my gym and threaten my people?
Nobody threatens a student. This is madness.
Madness? This is Firestorm! Now, who's next?